What is your American dream?
My American dream is one day opening my Fifth Avenue crafts couture shop, classy men and women style. The first African-inspired clothes and accessories on Fifth Avenue. Right in front of Trump Tower.
Successful and free, you know? Yeah, it's all about being successful.
My American dream is to be one of the best known chef there is. Yeah, that's where I want to be now. I want to be known.
And to be the best I can be.
My dream is to be with my family and be able to take care of my family the best way I possibly can. I've had 2 more children since I've come here, and being in the United States has its benefits for my children.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Oh, I'm telling you, George, on the show last night, changed name, wrote that we should make a song about Mandamuses, and Brad did.
Mandamus. Da 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 da. Mandamus.
And that got me thinking, why aren't there any songs about groundhogs? There's lots of songs about animals, but not about us. There's Baby Shark. Do, 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 do. They have a song about monkeys. Well, I don't know if it's really about monkeys or the band The Monkeys, but still they have a song. And even Bob Marley did a song about birds, 3 little birds. Well, what about 3 little groundhogs? And then the singer Cat Stevens. He's named after a cat even. And then he sings, cat in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. So I had an idea. I thought you and I should start a band. What do you think? Yeah. Hey, can you play the drums? Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. You ain't nothing but a groundhog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a groundhog, crying all the time. Well, you never caught a rabbit and you ain't no groundhog of mine. La ba ba. Woo! Thank you everybody. Thank you to all our fans. It's Hog Jovi here. And I'm Sam Hog Jovi with Groundhog George Harrison on the drums. Yep, he's not playing guitar today, he's playing drums. And for our next number, this one is for all the urban groundhogs out there. Groundhog in the city, running wild and looking pretty. Groundhog in the city. And now this little ditty, you all know, and it's homage to our good friend Hog Marley. Hit it, Groundhog George Harrison. Here we go. One love, one heart. Groundhogs get together and feel alright. Go Groundhog! Groundhog, join the group! Go Groundhog! Go Groundhog! Oh yeah! Thank you everybody, thank you! Did you miss yesterday's episode of Brad Show Live? Well, in case you did, Brad spoke to Sharon Kutzmelem, who is part of Granny's Abuela's Respondent, and they have created the Overground Railroad, where they help migrants who have been let out of detention and then have to find their way to the people they're going to stay with until their asylum date. Go, Granny Sharon, and Granny's Respond. And now is the time you have all been waiting for. It's time for Brad Show Live, starring Brad Bernstein with co-host Belgium Kim and Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Okay, one more time. Hit it, everyone. One love, one heart. Groundhogs get together and feel alright. Yeah, one love, Brad Squad.
Welcome everybody. Today is Tuesday. My memory serves me correct.
That's correct.
It is a Tuesday.
It is.
It's July.
It is.
It's the 23rd.
Yeah, it
Yes,
is.
it is.
All right. And Yo-Yo's going two,
Like
and then
2,
give it a 3.
There you
I
go.
thought you were just telling me peace out
No.
first.
Yeah, I was like, I'm out.
I should have did
I'm out.
2, and how do you do it?
I do it like this.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because I can't do it the other way.
God.
My fingers don't work that way.
That's not true.
It's true.
Your fingers definitely
It's,
bend.
no,
It
they
just
don't
doesn't
bend.
feel right.
It doesn't
Right.
feel right that way.
Right. But this.
But then how you do the 2? Like, just,
I do 2 like this.
Right.
Right.
And then when we
3.
we're just gonna. I mean, honestly, it makes sense because you just have to throw the pinky up.
It's much easier.
It's weird. It's really weird, Brad.
oh.
Everybody has their weird things. Belgium, Kim, Yonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias, how you doing today?
Hello, doing well.
What's
Yes?
up?
Yeah.
All right, I gotta say hello to Willie L. Williams, Lolitha Platt, Angela Barrett joining us, Lisa Bling Rose, all our favorite people from the Brad Squad, Dawn Harriet, and Sue Apata saying hey, and Suzanne Johnson says hi everyone, squad up. Who else we have here? Ali Bakani
Yeah.
with the question.
With the
question.
Ali, we'll
right
get to you.
away.
We'll get to you in a little bit. Sexy Shan Myers on YouTube. Marlene Rossi, Jean Love. What's so funny, Belgium?
Every
thought you
every time you say sexy Shan Myers, I think that you're calling our viewer Shan Myers sexy.
Sexy,
And I'm
yeah.
like, how do
I'm
you
like,
know? And why are you
excuse me.
like why and how?
Because that's her name.
right.
Right.
She calls herself sexy.
Sexy Shan, right.
Sexy Shan. But yeah, I mean, you can call her Sexy Shan, but I call her Sexy Shan.
Sexy Shan.
I like to split up the word.
You do, that's why.
Sexy Shan Myers. Tracy Lacey, how are you? Carol Top Cat Tigress, Tally, Elizabeth Francis saying hello, Jody Ann Stone saying hello, happy people and good day. Overcoming says hello. And who else we got here? Carolyn Jones with a question, and Darian Nieto with a question. And actually, Darian just wants me to give some thoughts. We'll get to all of that in a little bit, Darian. But right now, we have Violet Blackwood.
Yeah.
Squad Spotlight. Violet is a member of our Brad Squad. Woo! She is from Portmore, Jamaica. She's been married for a whopping 19 years.
Wow.
2 kids, 2 grandkids, 1 great-grandson.
Whoa.
You tell me all
Wow.
these young women have like not only grandchildren, now they're like adding, like we have great-grandchildren. I'm,
Yeah.
23 years old and I have great-grandchildren. 'Cause
Right.
that's what she looks like.
Like they're doing 23andMe,
Yes.
and there is like several branches below them.
Exactly. She likes to cook, read, and meet new people. She found out about her favorite show through Facebook. Somebody shared it onto her
Of
page.
course.
Nice.
And now she is an active part of the squad. And, by the way,
Yeah.
I would say maybe we now know who shared it. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Here's the fun fact
All right.
Yeah.
for Violet Blackwood. Ramona Hazel, she's Ramona Hazel's mom. So perhaps Ramona
Wow.
Hazel shared the show with her.
I see Ramona Hazel in the comments too, saying "Mommy, yay!"
I love finding out like who is related to one
Yes.
another that I
Right.
had no idea.
We have, but we know when we say family, we really mean biological family.
Right.
There's lots of
Absolutely.
families going on here, right?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, just to keep this going, I would love for all the Brad Squad to tag their person that they watch the show with in the comments right now, because I want to see and how they're related to you.
You want to see the 6 degrees of separation, except
right.
it's Brad instead of Kevin Bacon.
Exactly.
Right, you know that? You ever heard that, Yo-Yo?
Mhm.
You know, like Kevin Bacon's been in so many movies that
Right.
every person in Hollywood has 6 degrees of separation to Kevin Bacon
Kevin
in a
Bacon.
movie.
That makes sense.
With that, Belgium, Kim, Yonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias, why don't you tell everybody to please share? We are, by the way, there was no party today. I don't know if you noticed.
Zero party. There is a lack of balloons.
No balloons because we fell about 36 or 38 people short.
Oh.
We were supposed to hit 10,000 by showtime, 10,000 subscribers
We were.
on YouTube, and I said we would have a party, and we were at, I don't know, last I checked it was like 9,960 something.
I think that's the last time. Yeah, we were just at. We had just hit the 60 mark the last
60
time
mark.
I checked this morning.
All right, so
Let's
Belgium
see.
Kim, Yonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias, 2 things. Belgium Kim, where are we at on YouTube? And then Yonathan, tell everybody what they need to do.
All right. Do you know where we at on YouTube?
We are. I sure do. We are at literally 9,960 on the dot.
Wow.
So we need 40 people right now. There's literally hundreds of you watching. I just need 40 of you who haven't subscribed yet to our beautiful YouTube channel to go do it right now. As a matter of fact, Facebook crew, we're going to make it easy for you. We're going to drop the YouTube link in your comments too so that you can go subscribe. But then go right back to your preferred platform for the show. Yo-Yo, what else do they need to do?
All right, everybody on Facebook and also on YouTube, we definitely want you guys to join the group, the Brad Squad group on Facebook, and we're going to also put that link in as well. There's going to be a lot of links, all right?
Lots of links.
So it's a lot of work for you guys. All you have to do is just use your finger, all right? So join the group, and we will be accepting it right now. You will get different incentives more than any of the other platforms that you'll watch the show on, because you'll actually get different little, little gifts, I would say, that we'll give you guys. Little perks. I feel like our little videos that we give them will be gifts.
Oh, it is. That is.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wrapped up in a bow.
All right, with the cherry on top.
Yeah.
So we'll give you like little gifts and little videos that we'll shoot just for the Brad Squad group, and you will only be able to see it if you actually click join right now, and you'll also get the incentive of getting the first 5 social media questions that we will be asking. So when we get hundreds of social media questions, you know that the first 5 people to put it in that group, you will get your question asked right away. Now for Facebook, we definitely need you guys to share. We need you guys to share, just like how Ramona Hazel did to her mother. That's how she got it. So just like how Kim said, why don't you tag who you watch the show with? I want to up that, and I want you to tag a family member that you think might actually enjoy this show. So tag them right now and say, hey, this is my cousin, this is my mom, this is my aunt, whoever it is, and introduce them to the Brad Squad, and hopefully they will join as well. All right, now also share to people's pages, groups, and also, of course, your WhatsApp groups, and start a watch party. That's another great way to get the show out. You already know how to do that. Press that share button. Couple options down, it says start a watch party. Definitely want your interactions as well. Like, love, sad face, wow face, happy face, mad face, whatever you're feeling about any of the stories we talk about, I want to see that. And also, of course, in the comment section, talk to us, talk to each other, tell us about your day, whatever you want, and also, of course, social media questions. And what are we going to do on YouTube, Kimmy?
On YouTube, the first thing that you guys are going to do is make sure, like I said in the very beginning, subscribe, get us to 10,000 during the show, family. You can do it. Also, make sure to share the show. That's how we're going to get to 10,000 subscribers. Hit that share button, slide up in some DMs and some text messages and WhatsApp messages. And also, of course, let us know how you think and feel in the comments, family. And throw a little thumbs up under that video to let us know how you think and feel. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, it's time to start schmoozing with Brad.
All right, Belgium, Kimmy, I'm the Yo-Yo Elias. I have the top 26 stories of the day.
Pared down.
They got pared down today.
From 76?
From 76, yes, because we did a few yesterday, and we added a few more today.
Right.
Okay.
What I was happy to read today, actually some good news, Yonathan. The 9/11 first responders, the Victims Fund for those who got sick from cancer as a result of 9/11 finally has passed the Congress. It is now 2019, 18 years after the attacks of 2001, and finally the United States government is going to fully fund for the next 7 decades at a cost of $10.2 billion. That they're going to fund this over 10 years, but the fund is going to carry through 7 decades to help pay for the costs, the illnesses, the pain and suffering of the 9/11 victims and the people who came after them to save them and the people who came after them to clean up.
Good.
Lawmakers passed the bill with very few spending constraints as a promise to survivors, their family members, and advocates that they would no longer have to go to Washington, D.C. every year to beg for money.
Fantastic.
So finally it's going to the president to sign. We expect the president to sign it. And you know, if one person, it's named, by the way, after 3 people who died, who are advocates, Detective James Zagrota, firefighter Raymond Pfeiffer, and Luis Alvarez. They were all named in the legislation. They all died. They were all down there at 9/11 helping after the attacks and during the attacks. But you also have to say a big kudos, a big thank you to Jon Stewart, the comedian and social commentator. He worked tirelessly, this guy, to get it done. And, I have nothing but positive things to say about him.
It's crazy that he's like one of the only ones who did really use their platform for that.
Correct. Yeah. It's great when you see people use their platform for good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
And he's come out of retirement multiple times to speak on this issue for the past several years. Like, this is not just one celeb globbing onto an issue. He's been really passionate for a long time.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's a big thing going on in Hong Kong right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This
Now,
is crazy.
So now, if you know a little bit about history, is that Hong Kong was like the #1 trading supplier to the world during the 60s, 70s, and 80s. It was actually a British protectorate. The British owned Hong Kong. And in 1996 or 1998, I forgot, late 90s, they gave back 97. I was close. I said 96 and 98.
Right.
And Jill says it was in fact 1997. I split it in half.
Well done.
They gave Hong Kong back to China on the promise that Chinese law would not take effect for at least 50 years, that Hong Kong would still be a free society, Hong Kong would still have a free press, freedom of speech, and the people who live there would be living under what was former British law.
Right.
Now, 20 years later, China is starting to encroach into Hong Kong. I was just in Hong Kong.
Right.
Okay, it's a really beautiful city. It's very clean, very nice. It's huge malls. If anybody ever likes to shop, I am telling you, I have never seen so many malls in my entire life.
Boy, right here.
So what's going on now? Hong Kong has kind of transformed themselves from a manufacturing center, because the manufacturing center went to China, and now it's actually being moved to Vietnam because the U.S. and China are having a trade war right now. But Hong Kong has become the financial capital of Asia, well, one of them, and certainly is the financial lifeline for China. It's like the Wall Street there of Asia. And now China has come and said to Hong Kong, we're going to pass a law, and the law is that if you're wanted in China for a crime, Hong Kong will extradite you to China to face trial.
Right.
So what does that do to Hong Kong? Now anybody could be wanted in China for a crime. It basically stops freedom of speech.
Absolutely.
And any enemy of China in Hong Kong can now be extradited to China.
Right.
As a result, because and face Chinese law.
And there have been hundreds of people who have disappeared in Hong Kong, booksellers and journalists who disappear at the hands of the Chinese government.
Right, and they're not even supposed to extradite yet.
Right.
Right. So you would understand then why the Hong Kong police are saying that the criminal gangs are protesting.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a criminal gang, you wouldn't want to be extradited to China. You want to face trial in Hong Kong.
Right.
And if you are an ordinary citizen, you want to be able to speak up for your rights and be able to speak up for your freedoms. And as a matter of fact, what's going on in Hong Kong now is actually, people don't realize it, it's very similar to what happened in Tiananmen Square in 1989. Absolutely. People are standing up for their rights, and if this law actually passes and becomes law, then basically that's the end of Hong Kong as a free society.
Wow.
Because the Chinese government can take you whenever you want if they don't like you.
Sheesh.
So meanwhile, what happened is that the law has been postponed.
Right, yeah.
They have not, that is where we're at now. The law has been postponed, and we don't know what will happen. But basically, right now in Hong Kong, they're fighting for their freedom.
Yeah.
And you got to leave it to the British. Why would they do that? They didn't have to do that.
It's a very weird agreement.
Yeah, why did the British do that?
That of course is gonna, like, how could you not see that it was gonna cause so much strain?
Leave it to the British to screw it up.
Yep.
like the rest of the world.
Okay.
I
Yes.
think
Especially in
that's a lot
Africa.
of the difference between the pro-Beijing and the pro-democracy camps in Hong Kong right now. It's really crazy to see those protests
Right.
turn violent like that.
Now, Afghanistan is asking Donald Trump. He met with the Pakistani, is it the Prime Minister or the President? Who's the head of Pakistan? I guess it would be the Prime Minister. Imran Khan.
Yes.
In the Oval Office on Monday. And during that meeting, Pakistan and the United States have been kind of rivals in Afghanistan for 25 years. If you remember, right after the 9/11 attacks, George Bush told the then Prime Minister of Pakistan, you're either with us or against us, and we're going to war against Afghanistan, and we may
Right.
go to war against Pakistan too,
Right.
unless you're with us, because Pakistan has a lot of control. They're their neighbor of Afghanistan. So Pakistan ultimately came to the side of the United States, although they probably were working both sides with their, throughout, if you go back in history for the last 20 years, especially with their Secret Service. Nevertheless,
Right.
and where did we find Osama bin Laden?
Right.
In Pakistan.
Right.
Nevertheless, the Prime Minister was in the United States to meet Donald Trump, and they were discussing the future of Afghanistan, and Donald Trump said, if we wanted to fight a war in Afghanistan and win it, I could win that war in 1 week. I just don't want to kill 10 million people. I have plans on Afghanistan that if I wanted to win that war, Afghanistan would be wiped off the face of the earth. It would be gone. It would be over in literally 10 days.
Wow.
But I don't want to
my
go that
gosh.
route. And we have that video. Let's watch.
I could win that war in a week. I just don't want to kill 10 million people. If I wanted to win that war, Afghanistan would be wiped off the face of the earth. It would be gone literally in 10 days.
Oh,
Wow.
All right, so,
My God.
That is insane.
So you know how the only way that you can wipe Afghanistan off the face of the earth is just drop like 50 nuclear bombs
Right.
on them. So was he suggesting that he thought about dropping nuclear bombs on Afghanistan and wiping out the entire population? Is that what this man was suggesting?
I think that's exactly like the way he pictured it. The way he painted that picture
Mm-hmm.
was, I have a little folder on my desk that says nuclear plan for Afghanistan.
Yeah, so that's very scary.
Yeah.
It's scary not only that he has a plan, it's scary that he would announce it.
Right.
It's scary that it would even be a thought process in his head. It's scary that
Yep.
out of 100 ways to deal with Afghanistan, that would be on the list.
Absolutely.
Right.
That shouldn't even be on the list.
I wonder if he ever goes back and says, like, "Damn, I shouldn't have said that."
No.
Like, does he think before he speaks?
No, all of his staff is like, damn, what the hell is he
Yeah.
saying?
Oh, 100%.
But he walks off like, he's like an idiot savant,
Golly.
I don't even know what he knows what he's saying.
Could you imagine being
Thinks he
on
knows
his-
what he's saying.
Could you imagine being on a staff like
Yeah.
constantly
Like,
on the edge
yes.
of your seat waiting
Every
to
single
what's
time he
gonna
gets in
fly
front of
out
the
that
camera.
man's mouth?
So Sadiq Siddiqui, am I pronouncing this right? Sadiq Siddiqui, the spokesperson for the president of Afghanistan, said in a statement, "The Afghan nation has not and will never allow any foreign power to determine its fate, given the multifaceted relationship between Afghanistan and the United States. The government of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan calls for clarification on the United States president's statements." They want to know what he means by "you can wipe us off the face of the earth." And of course, nobody has said anything
That's a
from the
completely
United States.
fair
He just
question.
kind of threw it out there. Nobody said anything back. Now, during the same meeting with the Prime Minister, Trump also claimed that India's Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, personally asked him if he would like to be a mediator in the decades-long conflict between India and Pakistan.
Oh my God.
But the Ministry for India said no such request was ever made. So Donald Trump has said that I'm going to be the mediator between Pakistan and India, who are rivals. They have nuclear weapons,
Right.
pointed at each
right.
other. Okay, and nobody says that. Nobody ever asked him to be the mediator, and now he basically said in a news conference on an offhand comment, "I could nuke the hell out of Afghanistan, but I just won't."
What is wrong with this man?
Meanwhile, on Tuesday, which is today,
Yeah.
the Trump administration is starting a new regulation on expedited removal for people who entered the country without inspection. Let me explain what this is, folks. If you don't have, if the U.S. government, Department of Homeland Security, in the past, up yesterday or the day before, comes across you somewhere in the United States, and you cannot prove that you were in the United States for more than 10 days when they come across you, they say you just entered, you're still in flight, that's what the regulation says, and you have never made a legal entry into the United States, and therefore we're going to put you in expedited removal, which means that you don't get to see an immigration judge.
Sheesh.
You don't get to make any claim to be able to stay in America. Basically, a Department of Homeland Security officer, an ICE officer, could literally nab you, bring you down to the local ICE office, and put you on a plane back without anybody reviewing any of this.
Do not pass
That is
go.
what's called expedited removal.
Got it.
It's what happens when people get in the airport and they come with fake document, and then they turn them around 12 hours later without ever seeing a judge. So you see that a lot at the airport. And what the law said up to yesterday was, you're here in the United States for 10 days, you can't prove you've been in the United States for more than 10 days, it's like you're at the airport. It's like we caught you at the border, we're just sending you back without seeing a judge.
Okay.
Now Donald Trump has changed the rule as of today.
Okay.
If you are contacted by ICE, or you come into contact with ICE, and you entered the country without inspection, you did not come here with a visa, and you can't prove that you've been physically present in the United States for 2 years, it's now expedited removal.
2 years?
2 years.
Whoa.
So it went from 10 days to 2 years?
Correct. So I'm just thinking about, like, what happens if you entered the country without inspection and you applied for asylum?
Right.
Right.
Because you have to apply within a year.
Uh-huh.
Is that now expedited removal as soon as you apply for asylum? Because you had to apply
wow.
they force you to apply within a year. But let's say you run across the border, you make it here. Okay, well, I got to apply for asylum in a year, but if I apply and I show I'm here, then they're going to deport me.
So it's like, it's a lose-lose.
It's
like,
a lose-lose.
Yeah.
So this is obviously, when you think about it from that perspective,
Yeah.
a violation of the Constitution, because you have a right to apply for asylum, you have a right to have a hearing. It's something called due process. Due process is all over the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Due process means that you have a right to a fair hearing before the U.S. government takes anything from you, puts you in detention, sends you home, takes your money, takes your property. It's called due process. Due process means I'm entitled to a fair hearing before the U.S. government F's with me. In
Right.
whatever area it is. It
Right.
could be immigration, it could be taking my property, anything.
Right.
Before they take my taxes, if I want to grieve my taxes, that they're taking taxes incorrectly, you have a right to due process, you have a right to a fair hearing. If you get arrested for a criminal case, you have a right to due process, you have a right to a fair hearing before they put you in jail. This is the only time, the only area in the world that if you're here in the United States for less than 2 years and you came without inspection, there's no due process.
Wow.
Wow.
No fair hearings allowed.
Wow.
So that's as of today. Now, Omar Jadwat, who is the director of the Immigrants' Rights Project at the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, said, under this unlawful plan, immigrants who have lived here for years would be deported with less due process than people get in traffic court. We will be suing to end this very quickly. And I'm sure the ACLU will be doing that.
Less due process than traffic ticket.
Correct.
That is truly unfair.
That is very true, and that is a true statement.
Yeah.
So last Sunday, the numbers are out, Yonathan.
Okay.
Last Sunday, Donald Trump, remember, ICE raids, we're going to deport millions and millions of people. I wish we had that quote.
Right, yeah.
Okay? Remember, he was going to deport millions and millions and millions of
Absolutely.
people.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he says, I'm going to postpone it for a week.
Right.
Because I told you, because they can't do it.
Right.
But then he got pressure that he had to do it.
Right.
So he said, folks, the ICE raids are coming.
We're doing it.
We're going to do it.
Right.
I'm going to deport everybody.
Right.
And the ICE operation last Sunday targeted 2,000 people that they wanted to pick up and deport.
Okay.
They got 35.
People?
After everything.
35?
35 people.
Like 35 people?
Right, yeah, about the same amount of people we need to subscribe to YouTube
Right.
Right
now.
now, right.
Okay, to
Right.
get 10,000,
Right.
all right? That's who they arrested. That's what they arrest in a regular day.
Right.
Right. How
Okay,
is that different?
that's what they arrested a regular day. So, so the huge ICE raid turned into we got 35 people. Now I'll tell you where Trump gets you.
Okay.
I'll tell you where he gets you. He gets you with the rhetoric and he gets people so scared that they're going to pack up and go home.
Right. That's what
I
it was.
bet that's what it is. And people are packing up and going home because they're petrified. I guarantee you, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people packed up and went home because Trump petrified them that the ICE raids that they're going to come arrest 1 million people on Sunday. He got more people because he petrified them to go home, basically bullied them to go home, than he did in actually catching them.
Right.
And he knew that's what he was going to do because it did scare a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still get questions today on this show about those tweets.
Meanwhile, I don't know if you saw in Tennessee, ICE, one of the people that ICE went to arrest on that Sunday was in Tennessee. I don't know what town this was in Tennessee.
Just outside Nashville.
Right outside of Nashville. And the people who were witnessing ICE come to arrest their neighbor, says they don't need to arrest this guy. He's a good guy. And they formed out of just pure humanity. It was not done with pre-intent. Just out of pure humanity, they saw ICE coming to arrest their neighbor, and they formed a human chain. They formed a human chain around the car, and did not allow the ICE officers to go into the car, to arrest them, and allowed the person to go into their home. Now, if you remember from watching some of our other shows, where can ICE go and get you? They can't get you. Can't get you inside the car.
And they
can't get you inside your house. So if we watch this video now, the human chain allowed the person who was staying in his car to jump out of his car quickly and go run in the house before ICE can grab him. With his 12-year-old son.
Right.
Okay. So remember, these ICE warrants, unless it is signed by a federal judge, which it rarely is, these ICE warrants are warrants that cannot be enforced inside of a car, inside of a workplace, or inside of a home.
Wow.
Andrew Cuomo, liking the guy a little more today.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's unexpected.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't like him. I go back and forth. I'm hot and cold with him. He's the governor. He's the governor of New York. But today, the state of New York is the first state in the entire country to ban revenge porn.
That's probably the first state
to ban revenge porn. The first state. It is not banned anywhere else. So revenge porn is when you post a picture of either somebody naked or having sex against their will, that they didn't agree to it.
Right.
And it is done to cause emotional, financial, or physical harm to the person. That's what the law basically says. You can't post an intimate picture, a naked picture, a sexy picture, a picture of somebody having sex, whatever it is, if you're doing it in revenge to cause emotional, financial, or physical harm to a person.
So this happened to a celebrity, Tierra Marie, in California, and I remember that they did try to, and also Black China, they did try and say, well, I mean, it's happened to a lot, but I'm saying just like recently, they were saying, it was revenge porn.
Yeah, but if the person posted in California and then steps foot in New York, they would get arrested.
Good.
Even though it wasn't even posted in New York.
Good.
Because it's seen in New York.
Good.
Right.
So I mean, you post in California, you're disseminating it in New York. You just New York long arm can't reach to California, but if you step foot in New York, they would arrest you.
Wow.
I don't understand how this is not already a law. Revenge porn has been a thing for years.
Yeah.
There are entire websites. There have been countless women whose lives have been absolutely ruined. It is absolutely a form of sexual assault. I don't understand how this is taking so long.
Because the men who run our country don't care.
Okay.
Right. And there
that's basically it. That was a very easy answer, Belgium.
And there it is.
All right.
And that's why you need to elect more female representatives.
What else we got here? Oh, this was a nice thing. Have you ever been down to the Georgia coast? St. Simon's Island. It's very pretty down there. Jekyll Island, St. Simon's Island, and there's one more island. It's very pretty down there.
Yeah. Near Fort, isn't that near Fort Sumter? No, that's South Carolina.
That's South Carolina, but it's all very pretty down there. Well, there was a bunch, over 30 whales beached themselves on St. Simon's Island.
Oh
which
my
is,
God.
It's a barrier island right off of Georgia. And a lot of good Samaritans went out and one by one brought the whales back out onto the ocean. And it was a really nice thing to see, and they saved over 30 whales.
Wow.
Unfortunately, two died,
Aww.
but over 30 people literally got off the beach.
Aww.
They were just vacationing.
That's amazing.
To carry the whales
Look at
back
that.
into the ocean. And finally, well, no, that's not a finally. We almost finally.
Okay.
We're Sotheby's.
Oh my God!
In
Look
New
at
York.
all those people.
Yeah. Sotheby's in New York. And they were helping. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Sotheby's in New York is having the first of a kind sneaker auction.
Yeah.
Now these are not any sneakers. These are Yonathan sneakers.
Uh-oh.
The most coveted sneakers in the world.
Oh, really?
No. They are the most coveted sneakers in the world. I don't think you have any of these sneakers,
okay.
Yonathan. Nike, Adidas, Air Jordans. There's one Air Jordan where only 12 were made. And that one is expected to...
The moon shoe.
Yeah, the moon shoe?
The moon shoe.
The moon shoe. Only 12 were made in the world, and it's expected to earn over $160,000. Now, another highlight is 2 pairs of Nike mags, inspired by Back to the Future.
Right.
And it was made to raise money for Parkinson's disease. The auction also features a pair of size 9 Nike Air Jordan 2 blue suede Derek Jeter shoes, made to commemorate the New York Yankees Icons 2014. But buyers better act fast because the auction started on Thursday and 99 of the shoes have already been sold.
That's crazy.
A Canadian entrepreneur by the name of Miles Nadal purchased a lot of them for over $850,000.
Wow.
He purchased all of them.
Oh, all of them.
Except one pair, and that moon shoe is actually breaking news as of like 20 minutes ago. The one that was expected to go for $160,000 actually sold for $437,000.
But you can't wear them because as soon as you wear them, then you lose the value.
No,
Right.
and we have a picture, I think, or two of them. They're really janky and jagged, but they're one of the very first pairs that the Nike co-founder made with his own 2 hands with his waffle iron.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And finally, there's a lot of important world championships this week
Okay.
that I would be remiss if I didn't go
If
through
you
them
didn't
quickly.
go through them.
Pogapalooza, is taking place right now in Pittsburgh. It is the World Championship of Pogos.
Oh,
How do you win the World Championship of Pogos? It's an extreme pogo stick. Athletes from around the world come to show off their huge tricks and flips to compete for world titles such as Best Pogo Trickster.
Well, yeah. Look at. Can you
It's
imagine doing a
Pogo-palooza.
backflip on a pogo stick?
Yeah.
I can't
Also-
pogo.
Yeah. Also in Finland, we already discussed this, but we'll discuss it again, is the Heavy Metal Knitting Championship.
oh yeah.
Right? Remember that?
Oh,
so several
yes.
months ago, we told you about that, but now it is happening, and people are going on with such. We have some video. People are going on with such stage names as Wolf Fumes, Bunny Bandit, and Nine Needles. They are playing heavy metal and knitting. It is the World Heavy Metal Knitting Championship, and in Lithuania, Belgium, Kim.
Yeah.
I'm glad I am not married right now. I'd break my back
Yeah.
if I was married and living in Lithuania, because it is the wife carrying competition week in Lithuania. Lithuanian
hilarious.
couple won the World Wife Carrying Championship for
Oh
a
my
second
God.
time in a row. It's in a Finnish town. It's not in Lithuania. Oh, it's a Lithuanian couple, but it's in a Finnish town called Sankajärvi. And men pick up their wives and run with them through obstacles. It's the 24th year, and preliminary competitions are held all over the world. And these are the best of the best from the United States, Australia, Poland, Britain, and Europe.
Wow.
That's
The best of the best wife carriers.
that's amazing.
Yes.
Also, the grand prize.
The grand prize is beer Exactly weighing your wife's weight.
Your wife's weight in beer is an awesome prize. But wait, I don't understand why the prize goes to the man, because getting carried is not that easy.
Well, yeah, yes.
Right?
She's like a ball almost, right?
Yeah, she's got to do something too. Why does he get a big mug of beer and she gets nothing?
Doesn't she get to
I'm
like?
sure
treat
they
think she
like
gets some
drink
of the beer?
together.
Yeah, I assume they get to drink beer together. It's not like it's,
I feel like it should be the husband's weight in beer. That's probably A, more beer, and 2, he did most of the heavy
you never
lifting.
know. You never know.
That's true. With me, we would get way more beer if they got away.
All right, Belgium can't be out the Elias. Please tell everybody what they need to do so we can get these numbers up, and we're going to be answering your immigration questions in about 45 seconds.
Absolutely, Brad. Okay, the first thing, we got to tell the whole family right now. We're going to tell you again in a few seconds, but go subscribe to our YouTube channel right now, Brad Squad. We are 40 away from 10,000. Okay, and now, the whole family, right after you've done that, because that's the thing that's the primary thing we're going to ask you to do today. But the second thing you do is join the Brad Squad. It's the Facebook group that is the Brad Show Live Brad Squad. It's so much fun, community. We talk to each other all day long. It's like you get 24/7 Brad Show Live in there. So make sure to join that group by following the link that we're going to post in the comments right now. Also, make sure that you have shared this show with all your people. That's how we really get all the subscribers, and that's how we really get to know new family members. So make sure that you share that. Share it as a DM. Just send it as a private message. Share and start a watch party, because that'll send a notification to all of your people. And of course, share it on your own wall and on other people's walls, because that's still a thing and people still check that. So you should definitely make sure you post it on people's walls. Also, make sure you tell us everything you think and feel in the comments, because we're going to keep talking to you throughout the show, because these callers are going to get a little crazy, And make sure that you have hearted, liked, given us a little smiley face, because we like seeing them go across the bottom and all over the screen. And on YouTube, what are we going to do, Yo-Yo?
On YouTube, like we said, first thing you're going to do is subscribe. If you are a new person watching, make sure that's the first thing you do right now, subscribe. And if you have already subscribed, let's all go the extra mile and try and get someone else to subscribe, all right? Tag somebody in, or just share this to one person right now, one person that you know for sure would subscribe and enjoy this show. So that's how you should do it. Copy the link, send it to anybody, but make sure you could also start a whole group on WhatsApp and send it just like that, just a blast, all right? Send it as a blast. Everybody should know that you're going to be sending it every day, weekdays, 5:30-ish, all right? You already know, so I need you guys to share that right now. And also, of course, interaction. We definitely want to know what you have to say in the comment section, and make sure you have to put in your social media questions right now, because if you're not in the Brad Squad group, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get your questions asked. So remember, you have to join the group to make sure you do that. Now also press that bell for the notification so you know anytime we come on, and give us that thumbs up. Now is what you guys have all been waiting for. This is when you guys call in and Brad answers your questions with getting answers to your immigration questions.
All right, Mia, how are you? What can we do to help you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. What's going on?
Okay, so I'm currently pregnant, and I just moved back from Texas to New York, and they're telling me that I'm qualified for the WIC, so I was going to get it, but I am a petitioner for my husband to get his paperwork, so I don't know if it's going to affect him or not.
Well, it certainly affects him, but the WIC is really for your unborn baby. But
okay.
They do take the totality of your circumstances into account.
Okay.
If you need it for your baby, by all means, get it. All right.
Okay.
Generally speaking, if you earn more than 125% above the poverty level, or if you have a good affidavit of support, you getting government benefits for your unborn child would not or should not prevent you from filing for your husband. But they do look at the totality of circumstances. So I can't tell you 100%, but I'm telling you, you should be okay.
Okay, because we already applied. Well, we already did the application, everything. We're just waiting for the working paper to come through.
All right.
And
so I would never tell anybody not to give everything that you can give to your child. So go do it, and we'll figure it out. All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Brad. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, let's go to, let's see who we're going to. Michael in San Francisco. Michael. Michael.
Hi, Mr. Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I have a question. I came to the U.S. on a visitor visa. I've been here for about 3 months. I met somebody. We fall in love.
Great.
And the thing is, I already paid my university back in South America to finish it. But she was telling me, like, we can always get married here, and then I can go to finish my school. She can come with me sometime and do my interview and everything in South America. But do you think that's a good idea, or should I have to do it here?
Whatever you want to do. I mean, you could go to school here too. It's just a matter of, you know, you lose money for school in South America, but you're here more than 90 days. For an immigration case, the easiest thing to do is you get married and file your adjustment here. You're together. If you leave, it's going to take at least 18 months to come back with a green card, and you're not going to be able to travel back and forth in the meantime. So, you know, what works best in your life?
Even you think that's normal? Because I was wondering, I met her within that 3 months that.
I think that's fine as long as you get married after 90 days. It's perfectly fine. We lost him. But as long as you get married after 90 days, it's perfectly fine. If you're asking me for immigration purposes, the easiest thing is file an adjustment. It's much more difficult to go home, process to home, and come back. And also, you're separated for 18 months, but you want to go to school, and that's what you guys want to do, then go do it. You know, I'm not stopping you. It's either way, works. Let's go to, what happened to my pointer? Here we are. Bato in Queens. Bato.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Hi. I'm calling from Queens.
Yes.
Actually, I attended my interview in March 2019.
Yes.
But till now, I did not get any response. But today afternoon, I got a call from 646 number, and a immigration specialist. He is saying that why I changed my address twice after the interview.
And why?
And I gave them the valid reason that my mother-in-law passed away. That's why I have to change.
Fine.
Then he said, okay, within 60 days you will get a letter in your home, and you have to explain, and you have to return back the letter.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering.
So you're gonna get a letter asking why did you change addresses twice, and you have to explain it.
Okay, so it's been a while already. Like, it's more than 120 days. So if it takes more than that, is there any way that I could come to your office?
Yes.
I contacted before.
If it's more than 120 days, come see us. You're in Queens. So hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
And this goes with everybody. You go for an interview. It's more than 120 days. That's when you need a lawyer. You go for an interview. They send you a notice. You send it back, and it's more than 120 days since you sent back the last correspondence. That's when you need a lawyer. It's that 120-day mark. Let's go to Pam in Brooklyn. Pam.
Oh, hi, good
Pam. How are you?
afternoon, Brad.
How you doing?
I just received the I-360, got approved, and I got 3 letters, and I have 3 children.
What happened to Pam? We're getting disconnected a lot today. Hopefully Pam will call back. Let's go to Shanique in Duluth, Georgia. Shanique.
Hello?
Shanique, how are you?
Hi, Brad. Good afternoon.
What can I do to help?
I have a question. Hello?
I'm listening.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you send your application to USCI and they reject your letter, how long do you have to refile?
What do you mean they reject it? They send everything back? They don't then refile the next day?
Okay. And do you know how long would it take for you to get back a letter from them?
If they reject it?
Yeah, they reject it because it says proper filing, and it's been like over 2 weeks now, and I have not received.
It should be about 2 weeks before you get everything back. You haven't gotten it back yet?
No, they rejected, and they send back out a letter on the 9th of this month.
And you haven't received it yet?
No, I
All right,
called
so
them today.
why don't you
and they
wait-
said
wait-
give them up until 30 days.
Right, wait a few more days. See if you don't get anything by the end of the month and give us a call back if you don't get anything by the end of the month.
Okay.
It should be in the mail any day. And then you have to fix everything, whatever you screwed up. Whether you need a lawyer or not, I don't know until you see what you screwed up.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank you so much,
You're very
Brad.
welcome.
Have a good one.
Okay.
To everyone on the show.
Thank you. Let's go to Pam in Brooklyn. Pam.
Yeah, hello.
Pam.
Hi,
Pam.
Brad.
Hi.
My name is Pam.
Yes.
I filed the I-360 and it was approved, and
Right.
I got 3 letters. One stating that I have 3 children, and one of the letter came back with only 2 of my children's name on it. What does that mean?
How old are your children? How old are your children?
Hello?
How old are your children?
13, 8, and 11.
Okay, and they all need green cards? Where are they?
What I didn't hear you.
Where are they? They all need green cards. Where are they?
In Jamaica.
They're in Jamaica. All right. So what will happen, what will ultimately happen is did you adjust your status yet or no?
I don't what did you say?
Have you adjusted your status yet?
Yes, I have
You
a
have a green
pending
card.
I-485.
All right. So you got to wait on the approval of your I-485. And then when you do, after you get approved, you have to do an I-864 to transfer your file to the National Visa Center. And if at that time they only have 2 of the 3 children included, maybe it's just a typographical error, I don't know. You could always include the 3rd one and just show the National Visa Center the 3rd birth certificate. So ultimately, you could always include the kid. But let's get your green card approved first and then go from there.
Okay, so then I'd have to file for them afterwards, right?
No, you would do an I-864 to transfer the file to the National, I-824, to transfer the file to the National Visa Center, and then you process for the kids. They would be included on the case.
Okay.
All right, and if you need
So
help,
it's not a big deal if one of them name is not on it.
No, I mean it's a pain in the ass because you got to include them, but they're still included. You just got to maybe I don't know what happened.
Okay.
All right, but you could always include them later, so don't worry.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
All right.
All right, let's go to Violet in Brooklyn. Violet. Violet.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I signed up for my citizenship from November last year, and they told me that I passed the test.
Great.
But they asked me why I go to Jamaica. They said they see a name where I go to Jamaica and spend some time. So I told them that my son met in accident and was there, and I have to go there. They asked me if I have proof. I said yes. So from that I don't get no letter to swear.
How long were you in Jamaica?
I think I went down there 2 times because my son was in coma.
How long were you in Jamaica for each period of time?
I stayed there about 4 different times, about 3 to 4 times.
For how long?
I think the longest I spent there is 4 months.
And you went 3 to 4 times over a 5-year period, you should be eligible to become a citizen. That shouldn't be a problem.
I don't know. She said she has to put it to the supervisor.
All right, well, it shouldn't
so
be.
From that, I didn't hear from her.
How long has it been?
From November the 29th.
All right, so it's more than 120 days. They're violating your rights. If your longest trip was 4 months, you're entitled to become a citizen. Come see me. You're in Brooklyn. Hold on. All right. Let's go to Innocent in Houston. Innocent.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having this great show.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I have a question, bro. I came into U.S. In 2017. I filed for asylum, and early this year, 2019 January, I got married. My question is, when should I take off the asylum case?
Now. You file as soon as you file the adjustment. You withdraw the asylum. We're having problems with our phones today. Innocent, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. As soon as you filed your adjustment application?
Yes, sir.
You filed it?
Yeah, I signed my
Okay, so
adjustment
now you got to
application.
withdraw the asylum case. You do it now.
All right, sir. All right, sir. Then the last question, please.
Yes.
When I filed for the adjustment of status in March, 1 month later, I had a biometric. I had a letter to go and get my biometrics. I went and did the biometrics. So I wish to know if everything is okay. Like, is that the right procedure that is supposed to go?
Yes.
Okay. So now I just wish to know, is it going to be the interview first before my work permit, or my work permit before the interview?
Well, you're supposed to get a work permit first, but these days are crazy, and some people are getting interviews before their work permit.
All right, sir. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right, let's go to Kevin in Boston. Kevin.
Hello, Brad.
How are you?
I'm doing fine. So,
Good. What can I do to help?
all right, so I have a question. So, this year my wife did her tax return. However, she forgot to claim me as a dependent. So, we went back there like 2 days after she did it. However, the guy told us within 4 to 5 weeks we'll get our check in the mail. So, we've been here waiting for it. So, after 2 months went by, I checked the paper that he gave us, and the first letter, my name was spelled wrong. So we called him back, and he
Is this a
fixed
tax
it. I'm
question?
saying, can I?
You call me about your taxes?
No.
Okay, so
I'm
what's
saying,
what's the question?
I'm saying, can I still do my adjustment of status even though?
No, because you filed your taxes wrong. Okay, so if you were dependent on your wife's tax returns, that means you filed head of household probably. So you filed your taxes wrong. You got to file a joint tax return. And if you don't have a social security number, you add a W-7 to get a tax ID number. So whatever this guy did was wrong as far as if you want, knowing that you wanted to get a green card. We lost him too. We're having problems with our phones today. I don't know what the problem is. Eva.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
How are you?
Hello, Brad. I have 2 questions.
Yes, go ahead.
My sister have anxiety, but it treated already. If she not passed to a medical, can she get a green card through marriage?
Having anxiety is not a reason to deny a green card.
Okay, my
Half of the
another
world has
question is
anxiety. Okay, yes.
Okay, my another question is my sister is a widow, but in her visa she is single. Is there a problem if we have filing for a green card?
No, because she's in fact single.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. She's a widow. She's single. She has anxiety.
I understand.
Sounds like me, except I'm divorced.
Right.
I think you just basically described me.
Riddled with anxiety.
And the rest of the world as well. All right. And the whole world has anxiety.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't, you
That's
know?
true.
Let's go to Barbara in Naples. Barbara. Barbara.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I have
going
2 questions.
Yeah.
If a person is on a deportation removal, who can they get to sponsor for them to be in the United States?
If you're in deportation, there's all
Yes.
different things you can do depending on. You're talking about somebody who's out of status that doesn't have a green card?
Yes, like
Okay, so if you're all right, if you're out of
status,
status and you don't have a green card, you basically have 3 possibilities of beating your deportation case. One possibility is I'm immediately eligible for my green card because I'm married to a U.S. citizen, or some other way immediately eligible for my green card. Second way is I've been here for 10 years and there would be an extreme and unusual hardship to my family if I were deported. That's called cancellation of removal. Or you apply for asylum, withholding, Convention Against Torture. They're all similar and different, but the idea is that your life's in danger if you go home. So those are your 3 things. Or sometimes, believe it or not, someone's out of status and it turns out they're a citizen because their parents were citizens. Then you're deporting a U.S. citizen. That would be another option. But those are your 4 basic options.
so what if the father is a green card holder?
You wouldn't, if the father's a green card holder, you wouldn't, and the father says, I'm going to sponsor you, you wouldn't be eligible to beat your deportation that way, because when your father's a green card holder and he sponsors you you got a 7, 8, 9 year wait for a green card. However, if you've been in the United States for more than 10 years and there would be an extreme and unusual hardship to your permanent resident father, you can apply for something called suspension of deportation, suspension of removal.
Okay.
All right.
So
it
what
depends.
about a child that, you have a child that's sick, that medication is very expensive?
Suspension of
because
removal.
I'm from Jamaica.
Suspension of removal. If you've been a resident, if you're in removal and you've been here for more than 10 years, you do suspension, cancellation of removal.
Okay.
I keep calling it suspension.
Okay.
It's the old law. It's cancellation of removal. Hold on. But you get the idea.
Yes.
All right?
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
Hold on. You need help, obviously. Hold on. Let's go to Francis in Brooklyn. Francis.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I have a few questions. I just graduated. I'm a resident.
Right.
I just graduated as a law enforcement officer and currently working as a correction officer.
Mm-hmm.
But for me to be able to apply to be a police officer, I have to become a citizen first. And I have few arrests on my record, but all my cases was dismissed. So I was worrying if that will apply my citizenship because I've already applied. It's been close to going to 4 months now.
Well, you said you have a case on your record and all of your cases have been dismissed. So you have more than one case or you have multiple cases?
No, I think it's more than one case.
All right, so
it's like 3 cases.
Okay, I don't know whether you'll be a citizen or not because if you have 3 arrests, that could impact your good moral character.
Okay, so even though it has been more than 5 years?
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about your cases. All you told me is I'm a guard in a jail or whatever it is you do. I want to become a citizen so I could become a police officer, and I have multiple cases. They were all dismissed. Do I become a citizen? That's not enough for me to figure it out. I said it's possible that it affects your good moral character. I would have to know when you got arrested, why you got arrested, what the underlying charges were, and what you ended up pleading guilty to. And that would really be like a full investigation because I can't tell you by you telling me I've been arrested 3 times whether or not you're going to pass a good moral character interview for your citizenship. It would be impossible.
No, okay, because
it affects your good moral character. It absolutely does. If they were all dismissed, you are not a deportable alien. You get to keep your green card. Whether or not you become a citizen depends on the facts of each of those particular cases. Fact is, usually when you say, okay, I got arrested once, you can chalk it up to I had a bad day. Well, you have 3 arrests. Good for you that they happened more than 5 years ago because they can only go back 5 years unless there's something within this past 5 years that would indicate that you're not a person of good moral character. So, not knowing anything about these arrests, assuming they weren't like major, drug trafficking, terrorist type of arrests, if it's more than 5 years ago and you have a clean record and no indication that there's any nexus between what you've done in the last 5 years and these arrests that happened 8, 9, 10, 15 years ago, then yes, I would say you're going to become a citizen. How long? I don't know. Again, I don't know what you were arrested for. I don't know the underlying charges, the facts of the case. All of that's going to be determined when they decide at your interview whether you have good moral character.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
But if you need help, then hold on. All right. Let's go to Ruben in Columbus, Ohio. Ruben.
Hey, how you doing, Brad?
How are you?
All right, good. In 2013, I plead guilty of obstruction of justice here in Ohio.
What'd you plead guilty to?
Obstruction of justice.
Obstruction of justice. What happened?
Yeah, because I was charged with perjury. So I plead guilty to a least offense, felony 5, obstruction of justice.
Right.
And I was placed for community control, which is probation.
Okay.
For 2 years. I early terminated that probation in 14 months. They let me go. They said I was good. I did everything good. So I want to become a citizen. Where I'm at. I'm a resident since 2005.
What did you plead guilty?
Obstruction of justice.
When?
When in 2013.
2013. Was it a misdemeanor or a felony?
No, felony of the 5th degree that I pled guilty to.
Okay, so you pled guilty to what could very well be a crime of moral turpitude. It happened more than 5 years after you got your green card. So if you plead guilty to a crime of moral turpitude more than 5 years after you got your green card, it's your only offense. It does not make you a deportable alien. There's nothing that I could think of that would make this an aggravated felony, but I would have to be 100% certain by reviewing your disposition. Now, 2013, you pled guilty. You were on probation?
I was placed on probation back then in 2013.
And when
for
did you get
2
off?
years.
So probation was up in 2015.
Right.
So that means okay. So you can do your citizenship in 2021. 5 years. 5 years after the end of your probation.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to Nikki in San Diego. Nikki.
Hi, Brad.
Hi. How are you?
How are you?
Good. Good.
Good. Good. I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
So my grandmother, who is a U.S. citizen, petitioned my dad in S3 category in January of 1998.
Right.
And last week, my dad received an email from National Visa Center with their case and invoice number. So my questions are, number one, my grandma is now 85 years old, and she's now living in Manila for 10 years. And in the S260 form, I know that there is a part to put the petitioner's U.S. address, but unfortunately, she's no longer living in the U.S.
This is the problem. When you file for your family member, you're filing for your family member to come join you in America. If she's not living in America, that's actually defeating the purpose of reuniting family members, because your family is already united in Manila, Philippines. So for this case to legally work, your grandma would have to have the intent of coming back to live in America when your father comes to America.
So she can go with them.
Yes, correct. And they would have to have an address in America. Got to figure it out. Maybe you live in San Diego. Maybe they could come live with you. I don't know. But you got to have an address.
Yeah.
All right. So, and your grandma has to have the intent of coming back. Other than that, you're not.
How she can prove that?
I'm coming back. I moved to the middle of the Philippines. I know how to take care of me. Guess what? My son's coming to America. He's going to take care of me. I'm going to live with him in America. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the facts of your case. I'm just, off the top of my head. Whatever the facts are.
All right. And one more question.
Yeah.
Because obviously she's only living with her Social Security benefit.
So you would need to give an affidavit of support from a second person. It sounds like to me. Well, it depends on what that one person makes. Sounds like to me that you're going to need the help of a lawyer. This is not a simple, 1, 2, 3 thing. All right?
Okay.
So hold on 1 second. All right. So, Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias.
Yeah.
Please let everybody know.
Yeah.
One, that we're going to be getting into our social media check-in in about 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
2,
Yeah.
we have Instagram accounts.
Yeah. Yes.
3,
Yeah.
we better hit 10,000 because I want to party tomorrow.
Okay.
4,
Yeah.
we have a lot more show to go.
Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
5,
Yeah.
I only have up to 4.
Now, of what you just listed,
Right.
what requires more information that you've already provided? Would you say?
When you say it, it's
Right.
it's much more emphasis.
There's more authoritative.
I don't think anyone's listening to me when I say it.
I understand.
All right, so just let them know quickly.
Right.
While I get ready for Abadir.
The very first thing y'all need to do is stick around because we're about to answer your social media questions. But while you're sticking, what are you doing? Go subscribe to our YouTube channel right now.
Right.
We need 40 of you. I bet we need even less than that now.
We've had 4 subscribe.
Yeah, 4?
Oh, forget it. Well, let's just go home.
Why are we even here?
Why are we even here?
They don't appreciate
You know
us.
what? When I see 4 subscribers on YouTube, I say, why did I even wake up this morning?
Yeah, exactly.
I should have just stayed in bed.
I'm almost out of eyeliner. I used almost the last bit of eyeliner on these eyes for
true.
4 subscribers.
Yes.
You guys,
Forget it.
absolutely
All
unacceptable.
right, let me go find Abadir.
Yes.
Because he likes to sue the government.
Do it.
And he likes to sue a lot of people, so be very careful. No, I'm only kidding. He only sues the government, and when he sues the government, he's suing on behalf of our clients, of immigrants whose cases are being delayed purposefully by the Trump administration. If your adjustment is pending more than a year, if you went on an interview and it's pending more than 120 days from your interview, if your citizenship is pending more than a year, if your I-751 to remove the conditions is pending more than 18 months, you need to watch what we're talking about here. Let's watch Abadir sues the government.
Asylum is a protection granted to foreign nationals that are seeking asylum, protection from their home country, here at the border or within the United States. The protocol defined refugee as a person who is unable or unwilling to return to their home country for fear of persecution. The persecution has to be on the account of 5 protected classes: race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or social group. The U.S. took this definition and put it into the Refugee Act of 1980. Since then, it's been part of our Immigration Nationality Act, and we've been giving asylum to people at the border and within the United States.
So we have to grant asylum based on international treaties that we have signed with others.
Correct.
Now, the biggest difference that people don't understand between asylum and fleeing persecution and fleeing violence, those are 3 different things, okay? You can be persecuted but not be a member of a social group, and not be being persecuted because of race, religion, nationality. You could be persecuted because, you know what, your neighbor just doesn't like you and they're just persecuting you every day. It could be persecution just because they don't like the way you look at them, but you don't belong to a social group unless all neighbors are being persecuted. On the same time, just because you live in a violent country and there are bullets flying over your head, I mean, you could be in a war-torn country and there are bullets flying over your head, you're not getting asylum unless you fall within one of those 5 groups. Now, can you give me an example of some things that you've worked on?
Right. So for religious, I did asylum for somebody who was a Christian minority in a Muslim country.
And they were being persecuted
on account of their religion.
On account of their religion.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Now, I have done an asylum case for somebody who lived in a country where they were a homosexual.
Right.
And in that particular country, it's not a surprise, Jamaica, they persecute homosexuals when it's discovered.
Correct. Yes.
So that person got asylum as well.
Yes.
Because they belong to that social group.
Right.
Give me another one.
Political opinion is a big one. So actually, my family got asylum based on political opinion because my family was in the previous government in Somalia in the 90s before we came here. So
you were a child of somebody who was granted asylum.
All
right, so
so the political, we got it strictly on political asylum is how we got it. So that's one example. Race could be where one ethnic group is persecuted.
Another ethnic group.
A minority ethnic group, right, in the country. And then...
And what about like a social group, like, you know, farmer? Or I mean, how do you, like somebody doesn't fit into one of those categories, how do we develop a social group that they would fit into?
So social group is the most difficult to get because you have to define the social group, and the courts really want you to articulate it very well and a well-defined and specific social group. So I've done social groups where certain family members in that group, maybe you were persecuted and then your brother and then your father and your uncles, or maybe you're part of a social movement, right? I've done those as well.
Now, what Donald Trump has really changed is the processing times in all of this.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay? Before, it was first in, first out. So whoever was waiting the longest for their asylum hearing would be the next in line for their asylum hearing.
Yeah.
So what Donald Trump is doing is he's trying, as a policy, to prevent people from filing asylum cases for 2 reasons. One, he doesn't want to give people work authorization that otherwise wouldn't be eligible, but also he's trying to make it very difficult for people to be granted asylum.
Right.
Now, what does that do for the people who filed last year, or the year before, or 3 years before, 5 years before? They wait. They wait longer and longer and longer. Right. It used to be FIFO, first in, first out, but now it's LIFO, last in, first out. So the last application in gets the first interview. The person who's been waiting years
continues to wait.
So what do? Your life's in limbo, Abadir. Tell me what you do.
You have to file a lawsuit. As Brad said before, there was processing times. There was an order to things with the Obama administration, the Bush administration. People would file for their asylums, and you could check and say, okay, the wait time for interviews is 1.5 years or 2 years. But now somebody will call, and you can't even tell them anything because he's turned the process on its head. So the only thing you could do is file a lawsuit and challenge the regulation.
Now, in our last episode of Abadir Sues the Government, we talked about pending I-130 visa petitions. People who have had visa petitions pending for a long time.
Right.
And you said file a mandamus.
Yes.
Which is force the government to make a decision.
Yes.
In this particular case, are you also filing a mandamus?
Correct, yes.
It is the same exact thing.
It's the same suit. It's the same suit, but has an additional claim to it, which is an APA claim, which is Administrative Procedures Act. So that Administrative Procedures Act is a federal statute that mandates all agencies, not just USCIS, but all agencies to follow their regulations and procedures.
What should somebody do if they have an asylum case that's been pending for a while, or they have a loved one or a friend who has an asylum case pending for a while? What do you think they should do?
Call us.
Call us.
And we'll put together a lawsuit, and we'll get you your interview as soon as possible.
All right. So the telephone number for Abadir at Spar Bernstein is the same telephone number to call us on our Bradshaw Live show. 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. It's the number for law offices at Spar Bernstein. It's also the number to call to get your questions answered for free right here on our show. Abadir, wonderful job as always.
Thank you.
As again, prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome. But right now, in the time of Donald Trump, especially now that there's no collusion, okay, you better have good lawyers on your side who are ready to go to bat for you.
Right.
And I'm sitting next to one right now. All right, social media check-in. What do we got? Belgium, Cam and Yonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias.
Oh, they have been rolling in.
They've been rolling in.
have.
Oh, yeah.
Rolling.
That's right.
Keep them doggies rolling. You know that song? Rolling.
Yeah, go ahead and sing it for us, Brad.
I will not sing. I am not a singer, Belgium Cam. We found that out the hard way yesterday.
You know, you keep saying that. Yeah, I don't know. I think you would be hard. I think it would be tough to find an actual episode where you don't
Okay, we could definitely pull a lot more clips of you singing than anyone
and then not singing. That's all I'm saying. Like, I feel like if I went into
So
a
say we
random
like
episode,
you singing though.
And now are you also going to suggest that you can find more episodes of me dancing than anybody else?
Oh,
This is true.
True, yes.
don't tempt me right now. Don't tempt me.
I think I'm the only one here who has actually twerked, right?
Absolutely.
On camera.
On camera. Right, yeah. Well,
On
yeah.
camera.
On the Bradshaw Live cameras.
Okay, never mind. Right.
Are you saying that somewhere out there there's a twerking video of you, Belgium Kim?
I'm saying thank God for that revenge porn, right? Because even Kim twerking in sweatpants doesn't belong on the internet.
All right. What do we got in social media?
All right. Our first one comes from Amanda Baldwin, and this is the first question from the Brad Squad group. This is because she is a current member, so you get the incentives of the first 5 questions.
All right.
Saying, I have a friend that's currently in the U.S. legally on a B-1, B-2 visa, and a job wants to hire him and provide him with a letter of intent. Is it possible for him to Is it possible for him to get a work permit?
Not with a letter of intent, no. You need to get a sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Queen of my castle said, my husband's name is spelled wrong on his birth certificate. He is now an American. How could he get it fixed before I let you do my paperwork for my green card?
Why is he an American?
We don't know why he's an American, but his name is spelled wrong on his birth certificate, and he is a citizen now.
Okay, but I don't know where. Why I asked why is about. Where am I going to fix this birth certificate in this world?
Ah, I see.
I don't know. Where am I going to fix this birth certificate?
I see, and it depends based on where that.
Correct.
Okay, Oscar is saying, hey, Sensei Brad.
Yes.
I got a question. Can you tell a complex 245I case that you won? I need hope. We've got my mom's case underway, but I need to have a success story to know that it's possible. Help me know that if you think it and believe it will happen.
I believe in a lot of things.
Do you?
And one thing I believe in more than most things is Uncle Brad knows more about 245I than anybody you will speak to.
Ooh.
Okay.
I am really, really good at that stuff. So if you qualify, I promise you will qualify with me.
Wow.
How's that one? And that's
that
the
actually
truth.
was really nice.
And that's the truth.
That is really nice. Oh, yeah. Wale said, I have a question. What's the requirement document for a citizenship application when applying after a divorce from the spouse that petitioned for you?
You have been a resident for more than 5 years.
That's it?
That's it.
All right, Douglas saying, when someone files an AOS, how long does it take to get a work permit? Does the waiting time depend on the state?
Yes, it does, but it's about 6 months.
Ali Bakani said, my grandmother filed in the F3 category for my dad in January of 1998. Now they've received an email from NVC with their case and invoice number. My questions are the following. My grandmother is now 85 years old, retired, and living in Manila for the last 10 years. We did?
Yes.
Okay, good. Oh my God, good. Carolyn said, can I use a sponsor who's getting disability and the amount is over if the amount is over the poverty guidelines?
If it's over 125%, yes, as long as it's not need-based disability, and generally that's not the case.
Faces by Nessa saying, I'm married and my husband filed for me, however I was denied. Our marriage didn't work and we are divorced. I have a fiance and we're getting married in a few months. Now can I apply again?
We say this every day, right? You can fall in love, fall out of love, and fall back in love again. It's okay.
Vanish Beckford said, if you do the NVC steps, can you use your tax return copy or do you have to upload the full tax transcript?
You can submit a tax return copy.
All right, JJ Walker saying, I've just got married and I'll start my adjustment of status. How long does the process take nowadays?
On the short end, 9 to 10 months. On the long end, 3 years.
Lexi said, I've got a friend who's on an H-1B visa. He wants to marry his girlfriend who had someone petition her through marriage in the past, but she abandoned it because the marriage didn't work out. After that, she left the country, and now my friend's just wondering if he could bring her here on an H-4 visa. She was an F-1 and she abandoned her adjustment of status interview with the ex-husband 3 years ago.
As long as she wasn't out of status for more than 180 days, that's okay, because the H visa is a dual intent of both having an immigrant and non-immigrant intent. So that's okay, actually.
Okay.
She wouldn't be able to come on a tourist visa, but they would give her the H-4, as long as she doesn't have a 3 or 10 year bar.
Susan Johnson saying, how long after filing VAWA do you get an EAD card?
6 months. Wait, VAWA with an adjustment, 6 months. VAWA alone, you're waiting years.
Darian said, hey Brad, could you give your thoughts on some of the nonprofits or notarios that provide low-cost immigration services, aka non-lawyers? I'm very worried about using them. Also, I'm meeting with your firm tomorrow. Can I use any of your attorneys for my case, which is a 245I case?
Yes, you can use anybody. As far as notarios, Belgium Kim probably knows more at this point than notarios. Belgium Kim can, without ever being on the show ever.
Right.
Okay? Let's say Belgium Kim never knew me.
Never.
Okay? And one day,
yeah,
she says, you know what? I'm going to be a notario. And she puts out her sign notario, because I got my notary stamp. You know how long it takes to get a notary? You take a test for like 1 hour.
Right.
Getting a notary stamp, now you're a notario. Okay? Getting a notary stamp does not give you one inkling of knowledge of immigration, whether you're doing it right or not. All it does is say, you can stamp and say, yep, I saw somebody sign something. So when you ask, are you concerned about going to a notario? Yeah, I mean, why don't you just go to the guy on the corner and ask him to fill out your form? It has just as much experience.
Right. If you would hand your immigration application to your bodega guy,
yes, exactly.
You can also go to a notario.
Exactly, right.
Okay.
Can I have a dozen eggs? And you mind filling out this I-130 for me?
Right.
Okay. The other thing
is
there's no licensing requirement. So if they screw you up, they F you up, they ruin your case and ruin your life, you have no recourse against them. Zero.
Oh, wow.
Zero. Okay, because they're not even authorized to act before the immigration service. So when they fill out your forms, they're saying you signed it, you filled it out, not a lawyer.
Wow.
Don't
do it.
Okay.
But of course, be my guest.
Y'all, I've been on this show for almost 2 years now, and I'll tell you, I will not fill out your I-130 form. So don't go to someone who will do the same.
Right. All right, Rookie247 saying, if someone is filing the I-131 from outside, is the I-134 filled alongside only to show support for the beneficiary of the I-131 only and not the entire family?
You don't do an I-131 with an I-130, so that's an affidavit of support you would give to somebody for a student visa or a visitor's visa.
It said 134.
I-130.
Is that one an I-134?
Affidavit of support. It's an I-864 affidavit of support. There's an I-131. It doesn't matter. When you're filling out an affidavit of support, you're filling out for a specific person. It's an I-864. That's what you do with the I-130.
Chirac on YouTube said, my husband is an LPR and I'm not in the U.S. The I-130 is pending and the long-distance relationship is becoming really difficult. I want to know, is it true that he could divorce me without telling me if the marriage is outside the U.S.?
I don't know what the laws are and where he is. It's possible. In the United States, you would have to be served notice, but maybe he's in a country that doesn't require that. I have no idea.
All right, Sweet X saying, do you have to pay for the work permit when adjusting your status, or is it inclusive in the adjustment package?
It's inclusive in the adjustment package.
Elias said, would having a common law spouse on my B2 visa application, being that we were living together back in 2014, affect my I-45 interview with my now husband? I've only been married once.
Why would a common law spouse affect her?
I think she's wondering if is it considered a real marriage?
No, unless it's a civil, you have a physical marriage certificate, you weren't married to the man, he was your live-in boyfriend.
And she also wants to know, should she do a new affidavit of support to take with her, being that she was added to her husband's tax return last year?
She needs a new affidavit of support.
Okay.
She doesn't need a new affidavit of support, she needs updated documentation. So if there's a new tax return, bring the new tax return.
Okay, perfect.
All right, Leo saying, can avowal be just be word of mouth against the partner for abuse?
Yes, they will take everything into consideration, including your own story.
Baliabe said, how long does USCIS start counting your priority date? Is it the time when they receive your files or the biometric date for an EAD application form?
Time they receive it.
Teresa saying, I have a 10-year green card. It will be expired on 2029. I'll take a vacation to Philippines next month. Should I need to stamp my passport in local USCIS office?
No.
Melissa said, how long can you file after your green card to get your green card from a parent?
How long will it take to file?
I think it's after you get your green card, how long...
You have to be a citizen.
There it is. Okay. That's the, yeah.
All right, Kenny Ken saying, good evening, squad. How long will it, or maybe how long will it take for an American citizen to file for a sibling, brother over the age of 21 who is unmarried?
American sibling over 21, about 15 years.
American citizen to file for a sibling brother.
I got it. I thought I heard you said American sibling. I'm like, all right, a brother who's an American filing.
Did I say years. American sibling?
I think so, but I don't know.
We've got a follow-up from Chirac who said, so the husband is in the U.S., the marriage happened outside the U.S., but Chirac isn't in the U.S., so could he divorce her in the U.S.?
Not without service.
He would have to let Chirac know.
Right, or it would be an illegal divorce.
Okay.
Juliet E. saying, a green card holder filed 2015 for his sons. One of the son is 19.
Wait 1 second. Lisa Bling wants to know why Jenny's not counted. This is not speed round.
This isn't speed round.
She's jumped ahead.
Yeah.
We're just answering them fast.
Right. They're easy questions.
Easy questions
today. Exactly.
Yeah.
Juliet E. saying a green card holder filed a 2015 for his sons. One of the son is 19, the other son is 24. The 19-year-old is approved and the other one is not. Why?
I don't know. Maybe one's a son, one's not. Maybe he was married to the mother of one son but wasn't married to the mother of another son. So he's only one son's born within a marriage, one son's born without. Maybe he screwed up a case. I don't know why. I could come up with 100 reasons why, but I don't know which one it is.
Right.
Fatima's got a question, and I'm going to try and parse out what she's asking here. Is it possible to not put your children on your citizenship application? Because Fatima is going to be the one actually applying. Her children already have citizenship. So does she still need to put them on her citizenship application even though they have citizenship?
Yes, you have to list all your children.
Okay. And that has nothing to do with whether or not they need citizenship.
Correct.
Or how. Great.
Correct. All right. So we had sent a new correspondent by the name of Itoro-Chloe Udo. Mm-hmm. Did I get that right, Julie? Yes. And we sent Itoro on location to the Children's Museum of the Arts in Manhattan for their Ethiopian Cultural Festival, which featured art, music, and dancing for all different ages. Let's watch.
Hey Rad Squad, I am Itoro-Chloe Udo, a new face here at Rad Show Live, and today we are at the Children's Museum of the Arts in the Soho district of Manhattan for the Ethiopian Cultural Festival. So we are going to have a fun full day of music, dancing, culture, storytelling, everything that Ethiopia has to offer. But before we head inside, I'd like to tell you guys a little bit about myself and my family's immigration background. My parents are Nigerian, lived in Nigeria for most of their lives. They had my eldest brother there, then went to England, lived there for some time, had my second brother, and then to Canada where they had me. Here in America, I am a permanent resident with dual citizenship in Nigeria and Canada. Nigeria is my home, it's my heart, my family. We go back to visit as often as we can. That's a little bit about me for now. Let's go inside and get a taste of Ethiopia. Today with Ian, one of the museum's lead teaching artists and weekend supervisor, and we're here at the art workshop. The theme here is you got some Ethiopian artists, and could you tell us about the artists that are featured this week?
So this project over here is our Dreamy Cityscapes, and it's inspired by Adis Gezahan. And what Adis does is creates these really kind of compact, dense paintings that are a lot of colorful shapes.
Yeah.
But if you look closer, you'll see things like windows and doors and signage, because they're kind of picturing them as like these very busy cities. The project that we've programmed, inspired by that, is taking these cardboard panels and layering them with as many collage materials as possible to create our own kind of like metropolis cities. The other side is our collaborative subway mural, which is inspired by Ezra Wube's like animated mural that he has at the Fulton Street subway station. What we're doing to pay homage to that is we've erected a wall for the Houston Street station, because that's the closest one to us. A young artist is invited to draw something that either reminds them of New York or that they kind of like mentally equate to New York.
So I know you guys have a program here called Civic Kids, Make Art, Make a Difference. Could you tell us a little bit more about the program and what it's about?
So Civic Kids is part of our 30th anniversary celebration. In order to kind of usher in this milestone for the museum, we have a whole year's worth of programming dedicated to themes touching upon social awareness and social action, while also being translated into projects that are really easy to do together at home or in a communal space.
I'm going to ask you a little bit about your immigration story, your family background.
I was born in Queens, New York. My mother emigrated here from Barranquilla, Colombia when she was about 3 years old. So she's very much, ingrained in the American culture. She grew up with a lot of American television shows. She was living in Long Island City for almost all of her early life. So just being in that diverse of an area really meant that her individual experience was meshing and getting layered upon all these other stories of immigration.
Yeah.
It's always been this very kind of American viewpoint in our house of everyone coming together under one proverbial roof.
So I'm here with Christy Raffensperger, a librarian over at the Hudson Park Library, and she read a couple stories from Ethiopian authors to the kids. Could you tell us some of the stories that you chose to read today?
The story that I read was Trouble, Jane Kurtz. She is from Ethiopia. When I do the cultural festivals at the museum, I try to get a folktale because I feel like that is the type of story that represents the culture the most, but still telling a really good story. It really engages a lot of kids of all different ages. E is for Ethiopia, is an alphabet book, and it goes through each letter and it talks about a different part of the country or culture. As a librarian, I'm obviously not from the Ethiopian culture, but it's my job to share stories, and so even if there are words in the story that I might not pronounce correctly, it's still important to share the story and try your best.
If you don't mind sharing with us your immigration story.
So my family on both sides was German. My great-grandparents came over and they settled in Pennsylvania, and so we are what we call Pennsylvania Dutch.
So we are here now with our musician of the day, Habte, and he just gave us a really lovely performance. You were awesome. Could you just share with us what you do, your music style?
Right now, I do rhythm and blues in English, in Ethiopian language,
two languages, Amharic and Tigrinya. And I write my own songs. I also do a lot of covers. I love covers. I play the violin, I play guitar and keyboard, but vocal is my love.
So we had a lot of kids in the audience today, and I know you said you like to mix Ethiopian with modern, and why do you think that's so important to do, especially with a young presence in your audience?
The importance of exposing them to different cultures is it broadens their mind. You have to expose them to all kinds of music, all kinds of cultures, all kinds of dances. You know, there are other worlds, you know, outside here. So I think it's very important.
Do you mind sharing with us a little about your immigration story?
My immigration, somebody paid for my way here. I got scholarship for graduate school because I already finished college there in Ethiopia. And when I finished graduate school, they came and recruited me for a job. My employer applied for my green card, and I got my green card. And then after a few years, I applied for citizenship. In fact, I didn't go back to Ethiopia for 44 years because the political situation was really not conducive. Finally, I went and played at their Ethiopian Idol finale. My daughter is also famous there.
So I'm here with some of our performers that we had here at the festival. They just gave us a nice taste of traditional Ethiopian dance. Can I just have you guys give me your names, please?
Yeah, so my name is Tizita. I'm Helena. Gannet.
What were the names of the styles that you just did?
So we did about 5 different ones, although we have many more to share. So I think the first one was Amarinya. Then we did Tigrinya. Then Orominya. Then
Guraginya and
Guraginya, then Walaitinya.
So you guys gave us a taste of Eskista, right? Could you just explain, am I doing a little something close to it?
Yeah, you're right. Eskista is part of the chafara.
Okay.
And we do it on the shoulder, a combination of your head, your waist area.
Yeah, so it's everything.
Exactly.
They're a little bit like jumping, or was that a different dance?
It has a combination of that.
Okay.
So for the Tigrinya, you're right. It's almost like a reggae move too. Pick up
It's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
What you're wearing, the traditional dress, is this what typically would be worn in any type of Ethiopian dancing?
In most parts of Ethiopia, you'll see this. So, of course, like I said, we have different languages, different cultures, different dances, and so the outfits are as different. So this is made of cotton. It's hand woven. All of this is handmade. It takes a while to make it, and you have to we normally don't even put it in the laundry machine because it's so delicate.
And I saw some kids joining in to dance. So is that something that you typically train like young kids to like learn the dances?
We do train our children
Yeah.
at home, and we got invited to teach some of the kids at the Children's Museum. That was really nice to see the kids got involved.
Dance is actually not just dance, it's a culture, right? And so like most of us who grew up here, we have children who are raised here, so when we teach them the dance, it's not just pure dance, it's the culture, it's the language, so there's so much that goes behind it.
I've been dancing traditional Nigerian dance since I was really small, so I know the culture and the community it brings together.
When you dance, it's not by yourself.
Yeah.
You always invite the community, the people, the family, even the audience as we saw today.
You were awesome. I had to hold myself from jumping in. Do you mind just sharing with us your story?
So I came here at the age of 14. I had a single mom, lost my dad a while ago, so dealing with that, it was a challenge, but I'm so grateful of the time that I came here, and I can say I kind of navigate both cultures quite well. So in terms of American dream, I mean, you're from Nigeria, so the African parenthood is usually go to school, get a good job, and it's usually predetermined careers for us.
It is.
So I guess for me, the dream is living my life the way I want to, spending time with whom I want to, doing things like this.
Yeah.
So that's my story.
So Brad Squad, that wraps up our day here at the Children's Museum of the Arts. We had a full packed day, everything Ethiopia. We had Ethiopian musicians, we had traditional dances, we had storytelling featuring some Ethiopian children's book authors. If you're ever in the New York City area, down in Soho, definitely come and check out the Museum of the Arts. It's a great place for kids, really a great place for the whole family. Brad Squad, I hope you guys had a great time, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right, let's put 3.5 minutes on the clock. 15 questions. There we go.
Julian?
Yes.
Maybe that's why he didn't do it.
That's true. I wonder if Julian feels some type of way now, because we shout out, Julian?
Yeah. Yes.
Pretty often now. I heard it multiple times today.
Every day.
Every
A couple
day, yeah.
times a day.
Oh, not even when we're on the air. I mean, even just in the production room, it happens.
Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Ready. Berno said, Uncle Brad, how can you tell me a little bit about the I-212 waiver? My friend has a deportation in her case. The immigration has sent her an I-212 waiver. What is that? An I-212 waiver? What is that supposed to mean?
It means that you've been a resident for more than deportation case is a waiver for reentry after prior deportation.
Ever Blessed saying, can a green card holder petition for a spouse living in the USA and children under 21 outside of the USA?
Yes.
Siri Bull said I-360 was done after the marriage-based affidavit of support pending after the adjustment of status is pending after interview. Does both cases continue processing, or do they auto-send the marriage pending adjustment of status to VSC to join your 360? I refiled all the forms and didn't hold file in abeyance.
No, they should hold your adjustment pending, but she filed a new adjustment?
Yeah, it sounds like it. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, you can't have two adjustments pending, so I don't know what you're doing right now. You either have one adjustment pending and you put in an I-360 to replace the I-130, or you withdraw it, or that adjustment was denied, withdrawn, and you file a new adjustment, but there's no two adjustments pending.
Some post saying, my sister who's a U.S. citizen sponsored me 2016 USCIS, still not approved my case yet. What's going on?
2016 brother-sister?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got about 15 more years, 10 more years now.
Chelsea Hazard said, how long would it normally take for an EAD renewal to get approved?
About 6 months.
Mohammed saying, I'm a member of the Brad Squad. My question is, what happens to those who are not knowingly registered to vote and voted in naturalization applications?
Well, it's possible they can claim false claim to U.S. citizenship. You got a problem, come see me.
Esther said, if I have a green card, if I join the military, will the process of becoming a citizen be faster?
Yes, you get to file for your citizenship 1 year after joining the military.
Momo said, I have an ESTA visa, but the visa expired and I overstayed. I was deported from the USA. I don't know. I denied visa in the U.S. Embassy.
Because you got deported. You need a lawyer.
Isha said, how long does it take to get the EAD card when someone does a concurrent filing?
About 6 months.
Copper saying, I received my 10-year green card finally after 10 months. Can you tell me how much time it takes to apply for citizenship? Do I have to get a new SS, old one authorized for work only?
No, your social security number will remain the same. You can file for citizenship after 5 years or 3 years if you're in a bona fide marriage.
Copper said, does a 10-year green card mean I have all the rights as a U.S. citizen?
No.
Binta saying, how long after filing a VAWA should I get a reply in a good case that will I receive?
A bona fide marriage, bona fide, prima facie on a VAWA should be in about 6 months.
Fox Racing said, let's assume that USCIS issued a voluntary departure and they never initiated removal proceedings. Do you think it's going to be a problem if the person decided to adjust their status at one point in the future?
As long as you were never in removal proceedings, it shouldn't be a problem.
Mr. Willie saying, how long does the USCIS take to approve an I-130 after RFE respond was received
within
January
120
11th?
days.
Farrow said, how can I be sure that I can still stay with my husband after my interview date entering the checkpoint from El Paso, Texas to Carlsbad, New Mexico without the Border Patrol detaining me? I'm married to a U.S. citizen but don't have a work permit.
After your interview date? Where's your interview? You have an advanced parole, you should be able to come back. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem.
Renee said, it's 1 year and 6 months since I sent in my paperwork. And
we did it. How do you keep going, man?
Because he told me to keep going
my
this
thing
time.
didn't. I was nervous.
You know, we just get up in it, Brad. Like, we just get up in
I was not
See how calm I am?
Yeah, you've stayed very calm as of late.
Yes, I'm very calm.
You've stayed very calm as of late.
I was nervous.
All right, well, let's see comments of the day. I'd be good on the $25,000 pyramid.
You would. You
right.
would.
If you're calm like that.
Yeah.
I would be spastic on the pyramid. I would forget everything. I wouldn't know words.
Right.
Yeah, I would be an absolute spaz mess.
I'd be a very good person on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our first comment of the day comes from Tracy Lacey, who said, the show where you meet people, have fun, get the facts, and get your immigration affairs straightened out. And let's not forget, we even get the news right here.
Yeah.
That's true.
This
What
is
more
true.
can you ask?
That's right.
Right. All right, our second one comes from Sandra Salinas, my homegirl. Hey, Brad Bernstein, congratulations on the story in the news article.
Oh, thank you very much.
Look
Thank
at
you.
that.
Very nice.
Thrive
Thank you.
Global, what?
Yeah, so we were in
Look at
Thrive
that.
magazine, which is the
Okay.
new Huffington Post, by
Right.
Ariana Huffington's new magazine.
Wow,
from Huffington
that's
Post.
amazing.
Very
Yes,
exciting.
thank you very much.
Whoa,
There I am.
dapper Brad.
That handsome little devil.
Dapper Brad.
All right, what else?
Our next one is from Cher Webley, who did exactly as was asked. This is my first time listening, and I was invited by my bestie, Marsha Wilkie. Thank you,
Yeah,
Marsha.
very nice.
Thank
very
you. You
nice.
guys did exactly what we
Yeah,
said.
Exactly.
Look at that. And we got one from Jessica Leamy, Joelle, saying, I get kicked out so much from so many groups just for sharing the show, but IDGAF. The word got to get out there.
Yes, Queen.
That's
I love
right.
that.
We don't get
You don't want to be part of a group that doesn't like Bradshaw Live.
Right.
Right? Why would you want to be a part of that group?
What kind
anyway?
of group is that?
Exactly.
That's a ridiculous group.
Exactly.
And finally, from Sexy Shan Myers, we didn't get to 10,000 for YouTube, but it's not because of Sexy Shan, because she said even my 10-year-old daughter subscribes every evening. She's under my arms listening to Teacher Brad.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow. It's Hump Day, so please strap yourself in, as they say, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?